Morning. We are very honored to be participating in this competition. To begin with, we will start with a short video.
Something smells really good.
Hope you're hungry. Bibigo mini wontons. They're like little footballs with flavor.
Ready in minutes. Delicious Korean food from Bibigo. Share Korean flavor.
So, hello, we're Team Bibigo from the Chinese University of Hong Kong, and I'm Hannah.
I'm Hyun.
I'm Jeyeong. And I'm Susie.
Today, we will tell you a story about how Korean cuisine, especially dumplings, became global with the Korean brand called Bibigo after all its ups and downs.
This is our outline of this presentation. And first, we are going to introduce the brand Bibigo. Bibigo was founded in 2010 under CJ Corporation. The brand name originates from the combination of the traditional Korean cuisine philosophy, bibim, which translates to mixing and represent the blending of different elements. Go symbolizes the brand's goal of Korean food globalization. HMR industry defines as a partially prepared convenient food that is ready to be served for people who are lacking time, skill, and desire to prepare food. The demand of the HMR products have increased due to the entry of women in public affairs and the number of single-person households and double-income families. First, if you look at the graph on the left side, both the female labor force and number of single-person households in the US is showing an upward trend. The graph on the right side shows the increase of dual income.
These are the highlights of Bibigo until today. In May 2010, Bibigo was founded under CJ Foodville. It was first launched as a Korean restaurant. However, in late 2010, CJ decided to add HMR production under Bibigo and started to enter overseas markets. In 2016, Bibigo's dumplings ranked #1 on the US and Korean market. In 2017, Bibigo decided to change its brand identity to an HMR producer as restaurants were not performing well in terms of sales. Except a few left in Korea and the US, all of Bibigo restaurants were closed all around the world in 2018. At its current position, Bibigo is showing high success in its HMR products, especially with dumplings.
There were two main key contributors to its growth: globalization and localization. With these two strategies, Bibigo is sustaining its growth momentum.
Bibigo's first turning point happened in 2017 when all restaurants in global market started to shut down and only few left in the United States and South Korea. The reason behind this was, first, in overseas market, competitors such as Seasons Table, lack of awareness of Korean food by foreign consumers, and failure to grasp both global and domestic trends had led to poor performances of overseas branches. Not only in overseas markets, restaurants in the Korean market also experienced a deficit due to changes in consumer taste and rise in the minimum wage and real estate rent. Bibigo's solution was to change its brand identity from a restaurant brand to HMR product brand. They offer frozen food, mandu, and Korean sauces, and they focused on mandu to build its brand as a premium mandu brand in foreign markets. Its solution resulted as a successful strategy and brought positive outcomes such as significant increase in sales, positioning as a high-quality HMR brand, higher brand awareness, and strengthened consumer loyalty. Second turning point happened during globalization process. Due to undervaluation of frozen products in Korean market, Bibigo decided to branch mandu out to the US market first, and then they attempted to branch mandu out to the other countries. However, at the time, Korea suffered from foot and mouth disease, which is a highly contagious disease of livestock, including pigs. And due to FMD, Bibigo could not export dumplings anymore. And Bibigo's parent company tried to push for the rapid settlement of the market through M&A intentions with local companies. However, due to the low recognition of Korean brands, Bibigo's parent company was rejected with M&A intentions and was unable to get any foreign investment. Bibigo came up with two solutions. First, localization, which is to adopt ingredients and package styles to each country's cultural and diet preferences. Using localization, Bibigo could produce dumplings outside of South Korea. And through special strategy of globalization, which is to standardize the production and development process, Bibigo could minimize the cost of producing mandu out of South Korea. Here are several examples of localized ingredients. According to each country's diet preferences, Bibigo changed its main ingredients. For example, from original ingredients of pork and vegetables, Bibigo, to pork and cabbages in China market and chicken in American market. In addition, Bibigo changed package styles to big paper package for US mass consumption habits, and additional plastic tray for luxurious appearance in China markets. As a result, mandu was well received in the foreign markets and worldwide sales increased. Sales rose to 63.6% of its net sales in 2019.
Turning point number 3 is about how Bibigo expanded from Korea to the US. In February 2019, Bibigo's parent company, CJ Cheiljedang, acquired Swan's company for $1.84 billion US. Swan's company is a US firm founded in 1952 that specializes in frozen food. This marked CJ Cheiljedang's largest overseas acquisition until 2019. So why did CJ choose this company? First, the US is showing great interest in Korean culture. Specifically, the millennial generation shows a large interest in the so-called Korean wave, which consists of Korean culture, food, and entertainment. Another reason is the food market of the US. As US is home to the world's largest food market, CJ Cheiljedang views it as strategically significant to enter this market. Because the frozen food market is already so developed in the US, it is currently showing low growth. However, the Asian food market is exhibiting consistent growth at 4 to 5%. The outcome of this transaction was an increase in sales and growth. In 2019, CJ Corporation showed a 19.7% increase in its sales. Various subsidiaries contributed to its sales. However, the effects of the acquisition of Swan's company contributed to achieving high global growth. This remarkable transaction has played a crucial role in widening the horizons of Korean food, thereby expanding Bibigo to a global brand.
As you mentioned, globalization and localization are the brand's key success factors. However, there are two other strategies that differentiated Bibigo from its competitors. Linchpin strategy is a strategy using one specific and specialized product to symbolize the whole brand. For the case of Bibigo, dumplings are the products that help Bibigo build trust with its customers. In customers' minds, Bibigo represents frozen dumplings and vice versa. Acquisition strategy is another one. Instead of focusing on financial factors such as the current market value of the acquired company, Bibigo M&A team paid attention to the opinions of dumplings experts. The special merger and acquisition process Bibigo had with its local company was a key to success.
We are now going to talk about Bibigo's current and potential challenges and its recommendations accordingly. The first challenge is the difficulty of using product placement advertising. The greatest advantage of PPL is to being able to see the maximum effect of product exposure as a relatively low cost, because the initial advertising cost is set regardless of the show's popularity. Also, it allows the brand to promote and, if fortunate, can become viral on social media from the show's popularity. However, just because PPL has a relatively low cost doesn't mean that the cost is low. Advertising costs in popular programs in China and Southeast Asia are too high to cover within the budget. According to CJ Cheiljedang's spokesperson, PPL marketing is effective on shows that are popular. However, the advertisement cost is very high. Therefore, it gives hesitation when considering within the budget. So our recommendation for this challenge is to use social media such as Bibigo's Facebook or Instagram accounts, and also use influencers as channels of marketing, as it is less costly. In terms of content, we suggest Bibigo to emphasize its special ingredients and the advantages of Korean food in general to attract the attention of consumers.
The second current challenge of Bibigo is uncertainties in the food industry and trend. As a trend of consumers' buying behavior is focused more on becoming aware of the quality of food, Bibigo should focus on providing healthy but convenient preparation products by continuing R&D on new innovative HMR products. The third challenge is one of the global issues that everyone is worried and anxious about, which is the coronavirus. Nowadays, the food trend has changed because of this pandemic, as more and more people concerned about their health. So Bibigo should add ingredients that can boost people's immune system so that people's desire to consume essential nutrients and delicious food at the same time can be satisfied. Also, Bibigo should try to increase the expiration date of products through R&D, since when people are stuck in a situation where they can't go outside to buy food often, they can buy products with a long expiration date at once, and food shortage will not be a big deal for them.
In conclusion, Bibigo's globalization and localization strategies require the in-depth analysis of the market and the development of different
Minute left.
strategies have brought Bibigo to the top of HMR industry. With an improvement in its advertisement marketing, understanding the trend of the market and consumer behavior, and fast responses to changes such as COVID-19, we are sure that Bibigo will expand further as a global brand in the future.
Thank you for listening.